Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to this June update video. I know I've been quite quiet throughout the month of May, so thank you all so much for your patience, but, if I was going to take a bit of a break anywhere, I guess it was probably best to do it. We finished the main game, and yeah, I just kind of needed some time, I think, before getting into the post game, but I can tell you I have touched on it a little bit, and if you thought that all we had was a few Lost World levels left, you are gravely mistaken, and hopefully I can bring that to you soon. I've actually recorded some of the next part, but there was something I wanted to do before I finished the part, and that was just my demise. It took so long, and yeah, I now have hours of footage to go through. it's ridiculous. Anyone who already knows what comes next is probably thinking, Andrew, how the heck did you spend hours on that? But I've realized my mistake, and actually what I'm going to do, likely before I film more, probably this weekend, is I'm going to edit all of the footage that I've recorded already, and that will likely have a clue in it that will lead me to understand what I've been doing wrong. But basically, I'm pretty sure I've understood what my mistake is, but in editing that footage, it should reveal probably exactly what I have to do now. But yeah, so thank you all again for your patience in regards to Donkey Kong. And again, hope to record more of that this weekend, and then I'll have to edit the new stuff that I record, which hopefully won't be hours and hours. And hopefully we can have another part of that up soon. But yeah, you're watching Crash 4 footage right now. Oh man. Oh, what a fantastic game. I've spent like a bajillion hours on it, and I'm still only at 70%. A big problem, or rather, not really problem, not at all. I love games that take forever to complete. But a reason for that, much better term, is that I've been trying to get all of the platinum relics, and I've never done that in the Crash game before. Even in like Crash 3, I never tried to get all of the platinum ones, just the gold ones, which you pretty much need to really get all of the gems. But in this game, I've been trying to get all of the platinum relics, and I've even actually been kind of starting with some of the later levels, because a lot of the later levels in the game are some of my favorites. The game just got better. Like, Crash 4 is a game that only got better as it went on. There's so many games you play where like it starts out good, the middle's like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and then it gets kind of dull and repetitive by the end. But I did not feel that at all with Crash 4. I just loved it all the way through, and by the time the game ended, I was just as satisfied as ever. I wasn't like, all right, let's hurry up and get this thing done. Not at all. So I've been really enjoying going back and collecting everything. And if you're looking for an awesome platforming experience, Crash 4 definitely delivers. And it has the mode where you can play without the life counter. So like it will keep, it records the number of deaths you've taken in a level, because that matters in regards to getting a gem at the end of the level. If you die 3 times or less, you get one. But you can turn off like the actual life counter, that if it hits 0, you have to get booted back to the map. I've never personally hit 0 lives, so I actually don't know what happens if you do. I'm assuming you just get booted back to the map. It saves after every level, so it's not like you'd probably lose any progress. I know it's like Mario Land 2, where it's like, you lose all your gold coins. That was a shock as a kid when I got game over and that happened. But yeah, just so you can play either way, but I love that there's not like an easy mode that actually makes the levels easier. It gives you infinite lives, but still you're on your own to learn the ropes, to get better with the controls, to figure out the best way to play, and I think that's great. It gives the player the opportunity to learn and grow without making it too easy for them like some games do. And by the end of Crash 4, it really requires you to use everything you've learned. It's not like you can just use the same skill set you had back when you started the first level. So I love that. Everything I love about video game, when you beat it, you look back and you can see just how much you've grown and learned and improved. Crash 4 is definitely the type of game for that, if you're like me and like that sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that footage. Well, we ramble on here, but yeah, so that's what's been going on mainly. I've just been playing a lot of Crash 4 in my free time, and just kind of taking a break because I felt like I needed a bit of one after I spent hours and hours playing that, rather recording the next part of Donkey Kong Country 2 Unveiled, and not making the progress that I wanted. And again, I realize why now, and it's going to be interesting editing the footage that I've recorded of the next part in a way that's not ridiculous. I don't want to leave in too much random junk, especially if I do go back and edit all my footage so far and realize exactly what I've been doing wrong. I have a good hunch what it is. So there's just going to be a time in the next part where it's like, there's a cut, and then it's like 3 weeks later, and then, it's me figuring out what to do. But yeah, otherwise, no, well, actually, people might not know. I feel like unless you live in Canada, people don't know anything about what's going on in Canada. There was a game show recently. I like my game shows. I typically PVR them these days because there's so much fodder in between. I just want to get to the trivia and the exciting parts. But there was one question where it asked, which of the following flags has a red cross on it? And the options were Canada, Switzerland, and Australia. And I'll give you a second to think about that, but there's one of those where it's like, you better not pick that one, or so help me. So yeah, I could understand if someone picked Switzerland, because it has the cross on it, of course, but it's the white cross on the red background. So then that leaves you with Canada and Australia. And again, if you're Canadian, obviously you know the answer, but it's amazing to the degree that people don't know anything about Canada, especially if you're American. It's like, we're right up there. How do you not know what our flag looks like? So in case you can't tell, what I'm trying to imply here is that the lady actually picked Canada as the answer. And it's like, we know what your flag looks like. The least you could do is learn what ours looks like. But yeah, it was just kind of mind-blowing in that regard. Canada has like the simplest flag ever. But there's no red cross on it. The answer was Australia, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that unless you're in Canada, you really have absolutely no idea, I guess, exactly what's going on up here. And the reality of the situation is right now that things are not so great. You'd figure that by after last summer, we all kind of hunkered down and didn't really do all that much. But this year should be better, right? And yet somehow it's worse, despite the fact that, we're told to lock down for 2 weeks and we do that, but it's not enough. Now you gotta wear masks. It's like, okay, we do that, and it's like, well, no, that's not enough either. Now you have to go get a shot, and it's like, well, I'm not so sure about that, but everyone who's getting it, I hope you're having fun with that, but everyone's getting that, and it's still not getting better. So, like, it looks like it's gonna be another watered down, not so great summer up here in Canada, and it's just mentally taxing. Overall, I guess, it doesn't make things any easier, and it's not good for motivation and stuff, but hopefully things will be fine from here on out. It's just, I've had a lot of problems with how this whole COVID situation has been dealt with. The whole idea of essential versus non-essential, the fact that governments have come to the point where they can just snap their fingers and have you do whatever they want. With the people who were supposed to be trusting saying one thing, and then like the next day they're saying another thing, or do this, these are the rules, and then like 5 minutes later they're caught breaking them. And when did everyone become so eager to trust politicians and big pharma and big company CEOs who have only been benefiting throughout all this? Like, they'll say that we're all in this together, but when has it ever really felt like it? Why does every day just feel like another kick to the ribs? I have a lot of questions. And just a lot of things, I think, over the last while just have not made sense. And this kind of massive shift, suddenly no one cares about things like mental health or anything that's literally not COVID, any surgeries or illnesses. It's like, well, those are just out the window now. COVID's the only hot topic. It's just hard right now. It's not just the disease, but also just everything surrounding it as well. Makes just kind of the current situation really tough. It's good to see other places starting to kind of gradually open up more, though, and hopefully, as time goes on, things will start to open up here as well. You just have to hope that it doesn't get to the point where we open up a little bit, but then winter time again, just like last year, it looked like things were getting a little bit better, and then winter comes around, the normal flu season, which it's so funny. There's some places up here in Canada where there's just 0 cases of flu this year. It's like, interesting. But yeah, so even if things are looking better now during the summer, let's just hope they don't start going on about things like fourth waves come the winter and booster shots and all that for everyone who is getting the shots. I think there's going to be some interesting times to come over the next while. I don't think we're out of the woods yet, but in regards to how things are going right now, it's just tough to be in a mentally okay place sometime. But for all of you out there, I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that, you're all making the best of whichever situation you end up in. For someone like me who's always been, adventure, let's go do things, let's improve, let's get things done, let's go exploring, to be locked down for so long to the point where, you can't even go. I was out for a walk the other day, and like even libraries are closed. Like even if, if I'm willing to wear a mask and go into the library, it's not like I'm going to be shouting at the top of my lungs. How come something like that can't be open? So I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions about what's going on right now, and I wonder if we're going to look back and realize that we dealt with things in the proper way. Because, of course, way back at the beginning, the whole reason this started was because we were seeing that footage from China where someone would just be like walking around and then be like, oh no, I'm dead, the virus got me. But then, it's not actually how it works. We locked down with the idea that was how it worked. And obviously we didn't want that happening here, but as we've learned more about it, it's interesting that restrictions have only gotten stricter. Masks weren't even a mandated thing here until July. So, how come, we all just didn't drop dead during the 4 months prior to that? I have no idea. But yeah, so sometimes it's hard to kind of stop my brain from going into places like that. Critical thinking's my thing, but it seems like lately, critical thinking, contraband. Don't do any of that. I just want some answers and just want some things to make sense. And lately, it feels like a lot of things haven't been. But hopefully, again, all of you are doing well. And hopefully going forward, I can get back to doing the video stuff. And I'm also thinking of streaming this Thursday. So if you're still around, haven't been subscribed, hopefully we can have some fun with that. Keep an eye out on the community tab, and I'll post any updates that may come along in that regard. But thanks for watching this update video. Hope you enjoyed the Crash footage. If you haven't checked the game out, I definitely recommend it. And again, hopefully it won't be too much longer before there's more Donkey Kong Country 2 unveiled. So thanks for watching again, and see you later.